So we are back here on the Choose954 podcast, episode 26, from the beautiful Frank Gallery in Pembroke Pines with Chief Curator Joshua Carden. For those of you that don't know about Choose954, we started a social movement to cultivate culture and community here in Broward County, where I'm from, in an effort to keep people to know with all the great things that are going on and make this a better place to live and not just a better place to vacation. So the point with the podcast is to connect you with amazing people like him that are doing incredible things here in the 954. So without much further ado, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. My name is Joshua Carden. I'm the Chief Curator here at the Frank. I've lived in South Florida almost 5 years now. I live in Miami, but working here at the Frank has introduced me to everything that 954 has to offer, and it's just been an incredibly eye-opening experience. I started out working in galleries when I was 18 years old, so straight into college, I started working in the arts and have never stopped. So that kind of brought me here today. I went to the University of Florida. I got my bachelor's in art history, and then I went on to SCAD, the Savannah College of Art and Design, to get my master's in arts administration.
There's a gallery scene in Gainesville?
Yeah, a small one. We actually sold a lot of things online to people out of the area, but because of all the professors that end up living there, retiring there, they've just amassed huge collections of artwork. And half of what I did was appraisal work, so working with the University of Florida and all of the surrounding museum systems to appraise artwork and do donation requests to appraisals for them.
Interesting. And SCAD, pretty noteworthy.
Yeah, SCAD was amazing for sure. So I got my master's in arts administration probably 3 years ago now.
Oh wow.
Yeah, fairly recent.
Okay.
And it's been nonstop ever since.
And then, so what was the transition from SCAD? What was the next step after that?
After SCAD, my boyfriend actually was offered a position down in South Florida, and we kind of just took a leap of faith and
Here we are.
moved down.
And was your first job in South Florida the Frank?
No, I actually worked for another gallery that has a gallery in Boca and one in Bal Harbour.
Okay. So for those that aren't familiar and haven't been out here yet, tell us a little bit about this beautiful space that we're in right now.
Yeah, so the Frank is the city of Pembroke Pines' big foray into the art scene here in Pembroke Pines. We're really proud of it. It opened almost 2 years ago now in April. So this is actually our 8th exhibit called Prism. I've been here for 6 of them, and it's been a huge opportunity, a huge blessing that I'm really excited to be a part of. So the city really just wants to cultivate culture right here in Pembroke Pines, a nice, western offshoot of culture here in Broward County, and they're really putting all of their eggs in this basket, and we're really excited for it because we're able to offer so much to the community absolutely free of charge, all provided by the city of Pembroke Pines.
The space is absolutely incredible. It literally is brand new. I mean, the floors are beautiful. It's truly a blank slate canvas to do anything. I'll never forget the first exhibit I walked in here, which was Christian Phoenix.
Yes, perceptual tracking. Leah Brown and Peter Simmons from Fab Village. Yeah, that was my first exhibit here with the gallery, and it was incredible. So they kind of created this forest scape using colored pillars that were painted different colors, and then Peter actually programmed the lighting so that depending on the lighting sequence, it would cancel out some colors, it would enhance other colors, and then Leah had her laser cut animals that were kind of just moving throughout, and you could only see them from certain vantage points, so it was kind of about a predator-prey relationship, and it really did an amazing job of blending technology and artwork.
And there's only so many places that you could have installed that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm so impressed with this building and the depths and detail they went into to make sure that it was a state-of-the-art art gallery. I've worked for lots of galleries and been to hundreds and hundreds, and most of the time gallery space has been, retrofitted from a laundromat or, an old warehouse of some sort because you want the high ceilings and windows and things. It's very rare to find a gallery that is built as an art gallery and an art space. So luckily we have, 38-foot ceilings, we have huge spanning walls, we have movable walls that we can put in. So they really outfitted it with everything we need.
You have this main room that we're in now, then you have the middle room, then you have 2 separate rooms.
So the room we're in now is called our main gallery.
I'm going to move the camera around a little bit for people to see.
So this is our main gallery space. It's 65 feet in one direction and 34 in the other direction. So a huge open room basically for us to do whatever we want in. Then we have our front gallery space, which provides us with a little more wall space, and then 2 project rooms that flank that, and those are perfect for video pieces, installations that you would like to take up the whole room, but they're only 12 by 12, so they're a lot easier to film in this, 3,000 square foot room we're in now for an installation. And then we also have our classroom space upstairs, which we're able to teach community workshops, lectures, so it's kind of a multi-purpose room for us.
Which is also adjacent to...
Yes, our third space gallery is also upstairs, which is for predominantly either students looking for exhibition opportunities or nonprofits that would like to show their students' artwork, or people who are involved in their programs that usually create artwork for therapy, for self-esteem building, for PTSD, all sorts of different things. There's plenty of nonprofits that use the arts as a catalyst to kind of talk about other things. So the third space is intended to give those people an opportunity to show their work, and we do invite them here for a reception just like everyone else, and we've had the opportunity to show, I think, 12 nonprofit organizations work in the third space.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And the auditorium.
Yes, and upstairs in the classroom space.
Beautiful. I guess while we're on the topic of Pembroke Pines, this was named after the mayor, Frank.
Yes, the Frank Gallery, our full name is the Frank C. Ortis Art Gallery and Exhibit Hall, so it was named after our mayor, Frank C. Ortis, who has been a proponent of the arts in Pembroke Pines through his entire term as mayor here. He's been the mayor, I think, since 2002, so 16 or 18 years now.
Nice.
So he's always kind of championed Pembroke Pines, or he's always championed the arts in Pembroke Pines, rather, and he's always kind of been looking for a home for the arts here. And I think when we built the new city center, the Charles F. Dodge City Center, he was the main reason that an art gallery is here today, so they named it after him.
Beautiful, rightfully so.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, no, definitely. And you've done some obviously great work, as we mentioned. Why don't you, for those that are able to see on the video, tell us a little bit about what they might be able to see in the background.
So the artists in this room are 4 different artists, all from Florida.
All right, that's fine.
All from Florida, predominantly from South Florida. These pieces here by Laura Marsh, who's the curator at Hollywood Art and Culture Center, as well as an artist in residence in South Florida. So she created these pieces for us as part of her Identity Banner series. So these are 2 Truths and a Lie. Some of the more linear pieces in the background are the work of Christian Finnick. So those pieces kind of show one vantage point from different perspectives. And then these larger pieces that you can see are actually portraits of people. They're energy manifestations that the artist Sean Mick, he's an artist in residence at the Bakehouse.
That's right.
He creates these portraits of people that he knows, and he names them. So this one's called Paul, and they're more so just representations of someone's inner energy rather than their outward physical body.
Interesting. And speaking of Laura Marsh, we are going to get you on the podcast, Laura, eventually. You can't hide forever, but we're big fans of all, obviously, Broward Arts, Hollywood Arts and Culture Center, really special place. We just attended their annual Exposed Draw fundraiser, which is a really great initiative. We encourage anybody to attend in the following year, maybe something for you guys to consider. It's a ticketed event. So you buy a ticket for $375, and you're guaranteed to leave with a piece of art, oftentimes valued at more than $375, because they have phenomenal relationships with their participating artists that exhibit throughout the year. So those participating artists donate pieces of artwork to the fundraiser, which goes towards this one big annual night of fundraising for the Hollywood Arts and Culture Center. And I've left the last 2 years with pieces from Sri Prabha, which is valued at way more than $375. And the Uni Collective, who I'm a big fan of, they have that big turtle mural down in Hollywood, in the Hollywood Mural Project. So something maybe to consider for the Frank.
Yeah, absolutely. We'd love to get more involved in things like that, for sure.
Yeah, could always use it. I think they raised $25,000 that night. That's, pretty nice. So we have Prism ongoing now. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what's upcoming here at the Frank?
Upcoming, so we have a lot of ongoing programs that you'll find happen every single month. So you can check them out on thefrankgallery.org, the Frank Pembroke Pines on Instagram, and the Frank Pembroke Pines on Facebook. So every month, I think all of our favorite event is called Frank Contemporaries. We usually invite one arts organization. You've also spoken there. So we invite one arts organization to kind of just tell everyone that attends what they're up to, what they're interested in, some cool programming they have going on. and then we usually try to invite 3 visual artists and a performance artist of some sort, whether it's dance or voice. So the visual artists set up here, it's a one-night exhibit, a little pop-up show that we do for them, and then as a group we kind of travel to each person and have them tell us about their art, tell us about their practice, and anything that they find that somebody would find interesting. They're really interesting because more often than not, it is a room full of people who are involved in the arts. It's not just someone who decided to come on a whim. So usually the questions are pretty right on and very enlightening, I guess. So
and it's really interesting that it is phrased and framed as a meetup of sorts.
Yeah,
so it's an arts meetup.
It's an arts meetup, so we encourage anyone who's interested in the arts or even just making friends or acquaintances in the arts or business connections to come and enjoy. At the end of every single one, we ask the room if anyone has anything they'd like to plug.
Yeah.
So any exhibits, any calls to artists, any open calls, anything like that they want, a room full of people in the arts to hear about.
Yeah.
We kind of give them a platform and say, now's your chance to tell us.
Yeah.
And it's really awesome. We've made a lot of great connections coming from Frank Contemporaries. We've worked with a lot of these organizations again, such as yourself. Also some of the artists who have pop-up shows, they've also exhibited in some of our larger exhibits afterwards. So it's a really good opportunity for us to see what's out there. We're always taking artwork for Frank Contemporaries. So if someone's interested, you can always just email us a piece and say you're interested in Frank Contemporaries. That's probably our favorite program. We have hors d'oeuvres, we have a bar, and it's catered and whatnot, so it's a really nice evening.
It's generally on Thursdays. Is it on a specific Thursday of the month or rotating?
Usually the 3rd Thursday of the month, but that is flexible depending on what else is happening with the city, but we try to stick to a schedule. It's usually at the very end of the month, so our next one is going to be March 28th and then April 25th.
Okay, and I've discovered some great artists, Ian Fishman, Claudia Curator, by being here and attending. So I think it really is a great thing. It serves a really great purpose. And I've mentioned to you for the artists that reach out to me saying, how do I exhibit in Frank? Well, that's one way. You gotta come, show up, meet Josh, form a relationship, and then that's one step closer to being able to exhibit.
100%, exactly. You can email submissions to the Frank at ppines.com, just our general email address, and they come to me and Taryn.
Okay, cool. And then for those that have kids, especially small ones, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you have for them?
Yeah, we've been doing more and more for children just because the response has just been so overwhelming. All of our children's things are beyond popular. So we started with a kids corner, which was originally a story followed by an art project that relates to the story. So the books that we choose always have some kind of correlation to the exhibit that's downstairs.
Yep.
So it's a really good way to introduce children to contemporary art and then take them upstairs and do something that they're a little more familiar with, but while they can kind of digest what they just saw in a more family-friendly, child-friendly way.
Sure.
So they get a story read to them that's also projected up on the screen so they can read along, and then we do an art project that relates to the book. So those are really amazing. They are usually these vary. It's best to check our website for these times, but they're really fun. We've had a huge outpouring of support for them, so we've actually started doing 2 at a time when necessary, just to get everyone in and get everybody to do a project with us. And then we also have our Free at the Frank art workshops for children. So we do one of these every month too, and it's just first come, first served. The first 25 kids and their parents get to do an art workshop with us. We provide all the materials, and those usually start with a book as well, but they're more art focused and less literature focused, I guess, but they've been incredible, and it's so sweet to see all the kids, and they actually are great. They actually make really amazing artwork. It's really fun to see, and the parents are just so sweet, so we're really happy to continue.
And we're here, in the suburbs, where obviously it's a great place to raise kids, so if you haven't experienced or any of these events and been out here, we strongly encourage you to come and check out the Frank Pembroke Pines for any ages. I know, once again, you're super humble and modest, but you had one very noteworthy children's-based activation exhibit that I was a big fan of. Can you tell us about what we did with the Wizard of Oz?
Yeah, absolutely. So it was actually our 2nd year partnering with the Miami Children's Museum. So we brought the Wizard of Oz here, which was an interactive children's museum exhibit. exhibition, so it was really great, but that was here in the main gallery, and then in the front gallery we actually chose artwork that related to the film in a more contemporary context. So we had some art for the adults as well as, you know, some more hands-on activities for the children, and that was a really incredible opportunity for us as well. We really loved hosting that here, and this summer I'm happy to announce we have an exhibit called Into Africa coming from the Smithsonian and the National Geographic Society, and it'll be the photographs of Franz Lanting. He's a photographer who's spent years and years from South Africa to Algeria photographing all sorts of wildlife and savannas, Serengetis, all sorts of amazing things. So we're really excited.
So
Smithsonian, National Geographic Society. It's coming here this summer. It's opening May 4th.
And I believe that, if I recall, the Wizard of Oz exhibit was the first or second time it was licensed to be shown or something like that. Something like that.
Yeah.
It's really cool the fact that they came to Choose954 here at the Frank for such a noteworthy thing.
Yeah, absolutely. It was really amazing. It was almost the 75th anniversary of the film, and I honestly didn't realize how pervasive it was in today's society and today's world. And now after we did the show, I just see it everywhere. It's literally like self-perpetuating. I just constantly see the Wizard of Oz now.
How about that?
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing.
No, it's not. And it was really cool. And I didn't realize that children would still have such like an attachment and an affinity for the Wizard of Oz. It's not something I grew up with necessarily, but so many children knew the stories and they were able to come with their parents or grandparents. And I think it was really a great children's exhibit because it was for the whole family, and then it came out, you know, almost 75 years ago. So people's parents and grandparents grew up with it, and then kids were still able to relate to it. So
and for grown-up kids like me.
Yeah, I thought it was awesome.
I thought it was awesome. And no, it was cool. It was interactive, and there was learning and creative opportunities there as well, so very well done.
Thank you.
We also have coming up this weekend, 21st Annual Art Fest in the Pines.
Yes, 21st Annual Art Fest in the Pines. It'll be the second time that it's hosted here at the Charles F. Dodge Study Center, and it's bigger than ever. We have close to 80 artists attending, a farmer's market. Here at the Frank, we're teaching 4 free art workshops every single day, as well as a poetry workshop in the Great Hall. That'll be by Darius Daughtry of the Art Prevails Project. So we're excited to have him on board, as well as a farmer's market, food trucks, all sorts of interactive activities for kids and families.
Pinwheels for Peace, Celebrating the Spectrum, Threaded Together, all of this good stuff you can find on the website, which is
thefrankgallery.org.
How about that? And where can they find you guys on social medias?
On social media, you can find us on Instagram at the Frank Gallery Pembroke Pines, the Frank Pembroke Pines, and on Facebook at the Frank Pembroke Pines as well. And
we strongly encourage you to, when you do come, to post, tag, share. That's the way that we can get the word out about great, great galleries, great initiatives, great events and exhibits like this. Because it's not that it's a secret, but just because it is out west, maybe, not everybody knows it as much as NSU or Broward Center for Performing Arts, but it's still a true gem, and we're very grateful to have such a beautiful space, such a phenomenal curator here in Broward County, bringing, world-class artists, world-class exhibitions. I have not seen anything here that I was disappointed by at all, and it's worth the drive. It's really not that far, maybe 30 minutes from downtown Fort Lauderdale. So, and having grown up out west in Coral Springs, it's, you kind of look for stuff to do, and I know maybe, it hasn't been on everybody's radar so far up until this point, but once it is on your radar, you will be pleasantly surprised with the programming, events, and exhibits going on here at the Frank. Some other things to look forward to this Friday, the second Friday morning of the month. We have Creative Zen, a monthly breakfast lecture series, mini TED Talk that Andrew and myself host in collaboration with the American Advertising Federation local chapter. It's a monthly breakfast lecture series. It's a mini TED Talk that we hold for free with coffee, breakfast, networking, an inspiring way to start your morning. One Friday morning a month to connect and engage with other creatives. This month we have world-renowned interior designer Inez Martins speaking coincidentally at the Design Center of the Americas, the Dakota building in Dania Beach. in the Christian showroom. It is for free. You can find out more if you type in AAF Creative Zen. We are still doing the Choose954 Local Artist Discovery Series live art pop-up every Wednesday at YOLO, which I did discover Claudia here, and she participated. She also participated in Art Fort Lauderdale as well. So
And Jill Lefkowitz.
that's correct. And I wouldn't have discovered, I might not have discovered Claude if it wasn't for here. We are on week 106 of consecutive Local Artist Discovery Series live art pop-ups, where we provide local artists a canvas easel table. We don't charge them, we don't take a cut of their work, we market it, we make a flyer, promote it. I do the social media, we give them a food tab, and that's in an effort to connect local artists with the downtown YOLO crowd who might not have other means to discover local artists otherwise. So we literally bring local artists to them, and it has been successful in helping artists get collected, supported, followed, commissioned. So we're glad to continue doing that for hopefully another 106 weeks. We are still glad to support and sponsor So Far Sounds, Songs from a Room experience. It's one of my favorite intimate music listening experience. They don't release the name of the venue. You have to either request access or RSVP, and either be granted access or be brought as a guest to reward true music fans with such an experience. The next one will be Thursday, March 21st. To find out more, you go to sofarsounds, SOFARSOUNDS.com. Sign up for the newsletter. It's not spammy, I promise. And they'll send you the invite when the tickets are available. And Raw Storytelling, one of our other favorite free monthly events of the month. Usually it's on the second Thursday night of the month. So usually it's the night before Creative Zen. This month, the way the calendar lies, it's actually not, but it'll be March 14th. So you can find out more at Raw Storytelling. It's kind of like our version of the Moth, which is cool. Yeah. If you also are looking for more open mic nights and places to practice your poetry or spoken word or lyrics, our friends from Yellow, Creative Arts and Event Space Dance Studio in Uptown Fort Lauderdale off of Commercial Boulevard, they just started an open mic, which is the last Monday of the month. See, it's YELLO, Yellow. So tons of good stuff going on in Broward County, from Uptown Fort Lauderdale to Pompano at the Bailey Arts Contemporary Center. They have Lyrics Lab every other Wednesday, hosted by my good friend Galen Todd Traxler. All the way out west to Coral Springs, where we just were this last weekend for Unplugged and Innovate Downtown, to Pembroke Pines, where we're here right now. We're going to be for Art Fest in the Pines. Tons of arts and culture going on in Broward County. Anything else, I guess, from you having moved here, in closing, what are your thoughts on the arts and cultural landscape in Broward County right now?
I'm so happy that I've found Broward County. From living in Miami, I always felt like there was really no sense of community, especially with the arts. And I can still go places in Miami and be completely anonymous and not speak to anyone at an art opening and go home. And for a long time, that's kind of what I thought it was down here. Mm-hmm. And now that I've, invested myself more so in Broward County, I see that that's not really the case. And there is a thriving creative scene here, full of people who want to help and be your friend and see you out and chat with you and talk to you about art, about art events. And it's just been, really incredible just to see. It's kind of, I feel like everyone in Broward County wants it. Everyone wants there to be a big art scene, and I think that's ultimately what's going to push us there, is that we're all investing ourselves in it so fully that at some point it's going to absolutely hit that tipping point, and I think it's already begun if it hasn't already. So I think just coming from Miami and seeing, these big city things that are kind of anonymous and not necessarily welcoming, I think Broward County has been a breath of fresh air, because I will say that I don't ever feel walking into a gallery or things that it's a pretentious environment or that I shouldn't be there. People are always very welcoming. They want you to come. And I would encourage everyone, if you've never been to a gallery, please come and visit us here at the Frank. This is an amazing place to start. It's free. It's right in your backyard. Come and take a look. Even if you're just going to City Hall or to see a show at the Great Hall, please just stop by and check us out and get your feet wet in the arts.
And not only coming from Miami, but coming from SCAD, I value and appreciate your perspective. And you're right, this is an inclusionary place. Not to say that our friends to the south are exclusionary, but let's be honest about it. You're not always, let's just say from an artist's perspective, able to walk into a gallery of your choosing and say, I'd like to exhibit here, and actually be able to not only manifest it, but make it happen in a relatively short period of time, as Claude did and as many artists have done here. And you've created an opportunity for local artists in a world-class, phenomenal space to be able to do so. That doesn't happen everywhere.
It really does not.
Correct.
And I think that Frank has given not only me, but Broward County, Pembroke Pines, South Florida artists in general, a tremendous opportunity, because we are constantly looking for artists. We constantly are trying to show. We do at least 4 or 5 major exhibits a year, which are up for 2 or 3 months each. So we are actively looking for artists, exhibition proposals, and I always try to pair South Florida artists with more world-renowned artists, or more international artists, so that they can say, oh, I did show with this person, or X, Y, and Z, and it kind of elevates everyone here in South Florida and Broward, that, we're giving these people an opportunity. As I know we're a gallery, but ultimately it's kind of a museum show. It's a bigger opportunity than, selling your work at a gallery, because sales isn't necessarily our priority. If it sells, that's great for the artist, but ultimately it doesn't really affect what I show, and it's an incredible position to be in, is not worrying and focusing on what's going to sell, which is what I see a lot of, and just galleries in general all over the world. They need to pay their bills and make rent and things. So here it's incredible to just be able to show things that I think are reflective of the theme, and for artists that deserve that opportunity and who have earned it because they're great artists.
Sure. And also, that makes me think of not just aspiring artists, but maybe you're an aspiring curator. Come to the Frank Contemporaries, you'll have an opportunity to chat with Josh, form a relationship with him, pick his brain, ask for advice. Also, would go without saying, I didn't want to go without saying, big shout out and props to your team, from Taryn, who is on maternity leave, to Vivian, to Holly, to Lisa, and also I'd like to mention too, to Robin Vegas, who previously served as cultural coordinator for the city of Pembroke Pines, I believe?
Yes.
For a long time, who helped lay some groundworks here in Pembroke Pines. To everybody that has contributed, from Jody Lashinsky when she was with the cultural division, it really takes a team effort, and I'm really proud to see some really phenomenal programming, really great things coming from here. I really appreciate you taking the time.
Thanks for having me.
And I look forward to having you guys choose 954 and join us here in the Frank. Thanks.